Hey guys, Carly here from The Habit Ayurvedic Wellness. And if you don't know me, I teach moms Ayurveda. I teach thousands of year old science of self care to support moms in supporting the healthy growth of their families. And today I wanted to hop online and talk about something that I've got going on my website. I've got a dosha quiz. This is one of the best ways to introduce yourself to Ayurveda. So again, Ayurveda the texts date back almost 7,000 years. And what it is just simple daily and seasonal rituals to keep your digestion working properly, to keep your sleep healthy, to keep your body at its ideal weight, and to keep your stress levels low. It's really simple tools to experience an easy life instead of a stressed and chaotic and overweight and frustrating and resentful and heavy life. So the best way that you can probably get started on a journey in Ayurveda is to figure out what your dosha is. Ayurveda teaches that everything in life is made up of the 5 elements. There's ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And these elements combine to create 3 doshas. So to help you understand that a little bit, like Pitta dosha is the combination of fire and water. And so when I say to you that someone has a lot of fire in them, it's not like, oh, that person is made of mostly fire. Like, that sounds kind of woo-woo. But when you think about, like, what are the qualities of fire? Maybe that it moves really rapidly, that it takes action really quickly, that it gets heated really easily. And so this is kind of what a Pitta, fiery person shows up as, is like someone who might speak really quickly or take action really quickly, decide on your goal and move forward really quickly. It might mean it's someone who is like a little bit combative in their conversation or argumentative in their conversation, one-sided, somebody who is driven and motivated. When I say that someone is really earthy, what do you think of? Somebody who is like grounded, somebody who's laid back, somebody who you might want to get a hug from. Like, there's quite a difference in those words. Someone who has a lot of fire and someone who has a lot of earth. So this is how the doshas work. And everything in nature, the seasons, the foods that we eat, everything, our life, seasons of our lives, childhood, adulthood, being elderly, these all have these different doshic qualities to them. So it's really cool to figure out what your dosha is and what elements show up more so for you. So I just want to give like a quick intro to this because I want you to take this quiz and then even double back and watch this video again to get some more detail. So there are 3 doshas. There is Pitta, which I already mentioned is fire and water. There is Vata, which is ether and air. And there is Kapha, which is water and earth. And these 3 different types of people, we basically all have one way that we show up in this world more predominantly. A lot of us are fiery, a lot of us are kind of spaced out and airy, and it's hard for us to make decisions, and a lot of us are more earthy. We are all a combination of all of the elements. You need all of them in your life in order to have balance. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit here, but we all have something that shows up a little bit more easily than another. The translation of the word dosha is actually fault. So not that it's like the thing that's wrong with you, but when the dosha imbalances are described, it's kind of like these are the ways you're most likely to fall out of balance. This is the way stress is most likely to manifest for you, things like that. So I'm going to give a quick breakdown of the three doshas and like how they show up, how they manifest as stress. And I want you to just listen in and think about what's going on in your life and which of these doshas might feel out of balance for you right now. So when we talk about our dear vatas, a vata woman, someone who has a lot of air and ether to them, they are beautiful, they're creative, they are the world's best storytellers. These women are fun and adventurous, they're full of spontaneity, and having a lot of good vata means being really good at going with the flow in life. Vatas they can be easy to upset, but they're also really quick to forgive. They're beautiful and empathetic. And vatas just love new experiences. They always seem to have a new idea or a new spark and some great new thing that they've got their eye on. And so it's always very interesting to have a conversation with a well and balanced vata. Now, ways that a vata can get stressed out or fall out of balance is sometimes you lack routine and then you feel kind of scattered if you don't have any kind of routine. Vatas tend to not like routine, but it turns out it's the thing that you need. You might find yourself feeling anxiety or overwhelm or worry. Vatas tend to maybe worry too much about what other people are thinking about them. Vatas may have trouble focusing on the task at hand, that sort of like shiny object syndrome. A lot of ideas, but nothing really like coming to ground. They've got so much air, not enough ground. They might find themselves changing their mind excessively, even experiencing insomnia or frequent night wakings. This is a big thing if you've got a vata imbalance, is being unable to like just relax into sleep. You're always just high vibing and maybe wondering too much like what you did wrong. Again, like thinking too much about what other people are thinking about you and letting that consume you, and that's where that anxiety and worry comes in again. In your body, it could manifest as feeling cold all the time, so much air flowing through you, so much wind flowing through you that you have like maybe feeling of being cold, like you could wear a sweater in the summertime. Also feelings of gassiness, legit having too much air in your body. That's a symptom of vata overwhelm or imbalance. So comment below, are you having those experiences, or reply in an email and let me know, are you having these experiences of vata imbalance? I can help you out with that. When it comes to Pitta, our fire and water people, Pitta is like sharp. You got to think of like fiery, sharp, intelligent minds. They're witty. They're usually really humorous people. Like it's very easy for them to create humorous, intelligent stories. They're very concentrated and focused on their work, and they have a lot of courage to get after their goals. They're highly motivated. Healthy Pittas are really understanding people. They're really, really sweet people, and again, like just joyful, like playful people. And they just always have energy and drive. It's the person who could always just get up and go and do the things. They're super sharp-witted, and they're really good at making decisions, and they're just good at overdrive, which can lead to overdrive. When we are out of balance with our Pitta elements, you might find yourself feeling short-tempered, like especially with the kids. Do you ever find yourself snapping at your kids or your husband or your loved ones, lacking patience? If you have excessive feelings of judgment toward others or toward yourself, that's a sign of Pitta imbalance. If you feel resentful towards your family or somebody else, your boss or whomever, for your life circumstances, if you tend to refuse to take breaks where you push yourself to the point of exhaustion because you have so much to get done. That's very, very Pitta. You need to just take it back a notch. If you have in the body, if you have feelings of inflammation, that's heat. That's too much heat in your body. And you might even, especially in the summertime, you might even like break out in rashes or experience acne. This is oily fire is the experience of acne. And then when it comes to our Kapha people, so I do want you to like take a sec and reflect on this Pitta imbalance. I'm sure a couple of these things have shown up for you in your life, and I'd love for you to let me know how that has come up for you, the good and the bad. So back to our Kapha, our third dosha. Kapha is water and earth, and a good Kapha is like the kind of person that you want to get a hug from. Their speech is usually slow and thoughtful, like a wise monk. And they're sturdy and reliable people. They're like grounding, and you can really count on a good and healthy Kapha person. But the thing about water and earth is that it can turn to mud. And so there's like a stickiness there that you have to watch out for, a feeling of being stuck. If you are experiencing, maybe you're easily putting on and holding on to weight, that's a sign of Kapha imbalance. If you are the kind of person who avoids change, or if you generally feel unmotivated or like there's not enough of a reason for you to get after your goals, then that's Kapha imbalance. If you feel like you're straight up unable to get out of bed in the morning, if it's really hard for you to get out of bed in the morning without stimulants, that's Kapha imbalance. If you feel lethargic and sluggish through the day, inconsistent energy levels, that's Kapha imbalance. If you tend to keep relationships or jobs way longer than you need to, or far beyond the time that they're serving you, that's Kapha imbalance. Fear of change, even when it's really needed, is Kapha imbalance. If you feel foggy or muddy or unclear in your mind or unable to make a decision, you've got too much Kapha. And, in the body, it shows up as usually mucus. If you have a lot of snot in your sinus cavity, or you're coughing up phlegm in the morning, or holding on to excess weight, if you have excessive perspiration, Kapha people secrete a lot of moisture. And so all of these manifestations might be a Kapha imbalance. So what I want you to understand is that Ayurveda teaches us that like increases like and opposites balance. So it's important to understand your dosha and which ways you're most likely to fall out of balance, because Ayurveda teaches the most simple of ways to support yourself and your balance, and it's ways that aren't really usually talked about in our modern culture. So for instance, when it comes to your diet, if you have predominantly Pitta dosha, that means you have a lot of fiery elements in you. You have a quick, aggressive, fiery mind. You might tend towards heartburn, or towards diarrhea, or towards like really quick metabolism. There's a lot of fire in you. You also might be hanging out in the summer, which is Pitta season. So the outside is hot, your inside is hot, your mind is hot, and you're craving spicy food. And this is like the opposite of what you should be eating. Ayurveda doesn't necessarily teach us to restrict ourselves in our diet, but it teaches us which foods have the most medicinal qualities or balancing qualities for our healthy mental and emotional state. So a Pitta person if I'm feeling hot and bothered and angry, or critical, or just burnt out, I'm not going to eat a big spicy curry because I'll end up getting in a fight with my husband. However, if you're predominantly kapha and you're just feeling like a slug and like you can't move, some spicy food will increase your circulation. It'll get that oxygen pumping through your veins. It'll help you start moving inside your body so you can start moving outside your body. So we're using really simple things like the specific kind of foods that you're eating, the specific actions that you're taking throughout your day, and just making slight adjustments to either support and balance your dosha or throw it out of balance. And we are drawn to the things that we already have a lot of. Usually when I talk to a Pitta person, they want more spicy food. They love it because they just love heat, everything heat. They love arguing. They love organization and moving forward. I talk a lot about Pittas because I am one. But, Vata people, when it comes to like their mental state, like they don't love the routines. They want to be spontaneous. They don't want to be tied down, even though that is the thing that they need the most to balance them. And when it comes to our movements, Ayurveda teaches so much about which movements are going to support you. So if you're Vata, you might be so drawn to like yoga and all the and this meditative elements that kind of take you like into your spirit and like out of your body. You're already out of your body, honey. You got to get into your body. So Vatas actually might need more like grounding exercises. Some like even like some weight training or something might be good for someone who's got a Vata imbalance. Really get yourself into your body, into your legs, into your root. And so this is what I love about Ayurveda, is that it can save you from your particular flavor of stress. And when you can learn about this and find these little simple tools, you'll find that you can change your mental state, you can change your emotional state, you can step out of stress and into ease far more easily, far more effectively, and far more quickly in doing these tiny little things. And I'm talking like everything that I teach from an Ayurvedic perspective in my everyday Ayurveda course is like 2-minute changes to your day, 2-minute habits that you implement for your specific mind and body type in your specific routine that you already have. We already have this giant list of to-dos. So thinking that we're all of a sudden going to join a gym and start going 5 days a week where we already feel like we have no time, I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive. It doesn't work, or counterproductive. So we need to find more simple things that are going to have a stronger effect and a more long-lasting, permanent effect and change in our lives. So that's it. That's what I have to offer you today from the wisdom of Ayurveda. If you have not taken the dosha quiz, you got to hop in to thehabit.net/Ayurveda and check it out. And don't forget to sign up to get more information on your specific dosha. All right, have a great day.